Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the fundamental concepts of civics straight from our chapter, and we'll see how these massive, sometimes intimidating institutions actually connect directly to your daily life. You know, we hear words like government, state, and democracy tossed around literally all the time on the news and social media. But getting a real grip on how they work, and more importantly, how you fit into the whole shebang, well, that is incredibly empowering.
Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty intense thought from the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, from way back around 380 BCE. He said, the greatest punishment for being unwilling to rule is being ruled by someone worse than oneself. I mean, wow, right? That is a stark reminder of why understanding our civic duty is absolutely crucial. Because if we just throw our hands up and ignore the system, we're essentially surrendering our own power to people who might not have our best interests at heart.
So to make sure you never face that particular punishment, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover state versus government, branches of the government, the power of a republic, who actually runs things, and finally, empowering the citizen.
Section 1. State versus government. Understanding the basics.
Let's tackle a question that honestly confuses a lot of adults who read the news every single day. What is the actual difference between the state and the government? People use them interchangeably all the time, but they're totally different. Think of the state as a permanent institution. It's like a school building, its history, its core purpose. The government, on the other hand, is just a temporary part of that permanent state. It's like the principal and the teachers. You know, teachers come and go, they bring in new rules or different teaching styles, but the school itself, it stays right there. It's exactly the same thing in civics. The government changes after every election, but the state endures. Section 2. Branches of the government. How power is divided.
Now that we've nailed down that the government is the temporary crew running the country, let's look at how they actually govern. In a modern democratic state, power isn't just handed to one person. It is carefully divided into three distinct branches. You've got the legislature, which makes the laws, you have the executive, which carries out those laws and makes policies, and then you have the judiciary, which resolves disputes and makes sure those laws are actually being followed. This whole setup is a built-in balancing act, ensuring no single part becomes too powerful.
Just imagine the sheer scale of where this lawmaking happens, a place like the massive Parliament building. This is the beating heart of the legislature. It's where elected leaders from all corners of the country gather to represent your voice, debating and drafting the rules that will govern the entire nation.
Section 3. The power of a republic, beyond majority rule.
So we hear democracy praised all the time. But what makes a republic so special? Well, in a pure, unfiltered democracy where everything is just a simple majority vote, you run into a huge risk, the dominance of the majority. Basically, that's a situation where only the interests of the biggest group are pursued. And when that happens, the rights of smaller groups get completely trampled by sheer numbers. A pure democracy doesn't automatically protect the little guy.
But here is where a republic swoops in to save the day. In places like India, France, or the US, the rule of law is the ultimate boss. It's way more powerful than just what the majority wants on any given day. A brilliant real-world example of this is the Dangra Kanth tribe over in Odisha. You had massive, powerful interests wanting to mine their sacred hills for profit. But because they live in a republic, the tribe successfully used the law to protect their land. The law literally shielded the minority from being bulldozed by the majority.
Section 4. Who actually runs things? Execs versus bureaucrats.
Let's zoom in even further. If the state is the school and the republic is the rulebook, who's actually doing the daily grind? This brings us to a really cool split inside the executive branch. On one side, you have the political executive. These are your elected folks, prime ministers, chief ministers. They're temporary. But on the other side, you have the bureaucracy. This is the permanent, everyday workforce you actually interact with. We're talking everyone from top-tier IAS officers down to government teachers, healthcare workers, and even your local BIS conductor. The politicians might make the flashy promises, but the bureaucracy is the permanent engine getting it done.
Section 5. Empowering the citizen, using your civic voice.
We have reached the most crucial part of this explainer. You. How do you fit into all of this? Well, you're not just a spectator. You have incredibly powerful tools at your disposal, like the Right to Information Act, or RTI. With the RTI, you can literally demand to know how public money is being spent. Curious about the budget for that pothole repair on your street, you can officially ask, and they are legally bound to answer. It's a total game changer for transparency and accountability, forcing power holders to answer directly to the public.
And getting involved has never been faster. I mean, today it happens right on your phone. Take official grievance channels on social media, for example, like the Railway Seva account. If you're stuck on a train with an issue, you don't have to mail a letter and wait a month. You can reach out digitally and make the government work for you in real time. Civic engagement has fully entered the digital age.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final question to chew on. How will you use your new knowledge to shape the state? You know the difference between the state and the government now. You understand the branches of power, the safety nets of a republic, and the tools you have to demand answers. This whole system belongs to you. Oh, and by the way, you can dive even deeper into mastering these civic concepts by purchasing our specialized study bundles from the link mentioned in the description below. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and stay curious.